Welcome back to another episode of Life Along the Streetcar, where we talk about the social, cultural, and economic impacts happening within Tucson's urban core, which we define from A Mountain to the University of Arizona. Thanks so much for joining us today as we delve into a duo conversation here. We got the dynamic duo from the Fox Theatre, who were the winners of the inaugural Streetcar Cocktail Competition. So we've got Darlene and Sofia. Welcome in.
Thank you for having us.
So, how many podcasts have you been doing? Because I know you won this award, so the media's got to be blowing up, right?
Oh, I lost count. Yeah. Actually, this is my first and only podcast I've ever done. So
this is how special they are. They have people. I had to call people to get them in here. So you guys have a whole team behind you there. Well, I'll get into the cocktails here in a moment, but really would love to know a little bit about the two of you. I mean, obviously you're both at the Fox Theatre, and you're the manager, right? Like the food
and beverage manager.
Yeah,
yes, for the Fox.
So you've been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
About how long have you been with the Fox?
So I actually started at the Fox in 2022, I believe, as a part-time bartender. I got some hours working the box office as well, and then moved up from there to head bartender, and then assistant food and beverage manager, and then the food and beverage manager.
Okay. So just kind of stick
worked
around.
My way up, yeah.
And they're like, we need something, and there you go. Mm-hmm. Whatever has to happen. And Darlene, you're fairly new at the Fox, right?
Yeah, new at the Fox, not new at bartending.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing this for like 10 years or so, but I actually work for like a mental health, behavioral health organization right now, but I've actually been in creative director work for the restaurant beverage industry. I've also just like been a pretty serious bartender for a long time. I worked at Tough Luck Club for a little bit, but I actually came from New York City, and I was out there for a little while working on my bar career, and I'm originally from San Francisco.
Okay, so San Francisco to New York to Tucson.
Yeah.
I need to know a little bit more about that.
I know,
so
you don't.
Witness relocation, is that witness protection? Is that what that is?
Yeah, exactly, right. My name really isn't Darlene, so we have to cut that out.
But I guess, what gets you from New York to Tucson?
Yeah, lots of reasons. I actually wanted to move from the Bay straight to Tucson. Mm-hmm. But
why?
You're like, oh, why? What happened?
Well, no, that's just an interesting move. Like, what, do you have family here, or is it just there's something about the vibe? What is it about Tucson?
Yeah. So I visited for the first time with my partner. And I just remember like getting on the highway, getting close to Tucson, and it was the most beautiful sunset. And it was, I know a lot of people say this about being in Arizona, but it just felt like a very spiritual experience for me. Yeah. And I was like, I think I need to move here.
Okay.
And it happened.
And you just had to take a detour over to the East Coast.
Yeah, a long detour, but we're here. So that's all that matters.
Okay. Yeah. And in New York, then you were working in the bar scene. So you probably honed your skills in some pretty interesting environments.
Yes, absolutely. Just like Sofia said, with like, really climbing the ladder, I definitely spent some blood, sweat, and tears with my bar career. I started out at like a dive bar in San Francisco. Then I went into a brewery, and then from then on, I was like, okay, I think I really actually like making drinks. Mm-hmm. So then I ended up in more like heavy mixologist spaces. Mm-hmm. Worked with some like nicer food and some really, really interesting concepts. And yeah, I just kept working on my craft and kept getting better at it. Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, apparently it's an award-winning craft now. Sophia, are you from Tucson? Or?
I am. I was born and raised here. I did live in California for a couple years, but ended up getting homesick and moving back. Okay. So.
Yeah. And so what is your path? You don't have the New York background, but you've been here in Tucson.
I definitely don't have the New York background. I remember being younger and just always thinking that bartending was so cool. Yeah. It just looked cool. Prior to my bartending, I worked for the Boys and Girls Club actually for 7 years.
Okay.
So was just kind of looking for something different, started taking up bartending part-time, and ended up I don't know if unfortunately is the right word, but unfortunately making more money doing that than, and it just became a hobby also that I enjoyed doing. It was a little less like emotional than what I was doing before, because it really does take a toll on your mental health working with youth. And I just stuck with it. I worked at High Wire in between working at the Fox. Like there was a year or so there that I also worked at High Wire, where I learned a lot from Barb and Justin, the managers there. So I got to give them a lot of thanks. I learned a lot of my like craft
and
cocktail
High Wire
stuff
too. They have that molecular,
the molecular shots. Yeah,
so
that they're.
It's a whole different level of kind of combining
ingredients.
Yeah,
that's chemistry. Yeah. So that was really fun to learn.
Oh. So then you both have these kind of extensive backgrounds, and this is not a slight in any way against the Fox, but it doesn't seem like the place where a lot of like, it doesn't seem like a destination for bartenders, but what drew you to the Fox?
So I actually had a friend that was the bar manager at the time that was able to get me a job there. And I just think from then on, it was just something that I truly enjoyed doing, whether I was getting paid for it or not, which I was getting paid for it. But I mean, I'm always the designated bartender at all of our family birthday parties and events and stuff like that. But, and it's also, I mean, the Fox, it's a historic venue. It's I'm going to go back to when you said about it not being like a bar destination. It truly isn't, in the sense that, I mean, you're not going to the Fox to get a cocktail. Like, you're going to the Fox to see a show. And so since I've been the food and beverage manager, and even when I was the assistant food and beverage manager, we had Olivia Reardon, who I also learned a lot from, was our food and beverage manager.
Miss Olivia, yeah. A shout out to Miss Olivia. She's been on the show before.
I learned a lot from her. And we kind of just tried to make it tried to elevate the bar aspect.
And the thing that I find interesting about the Fox, which is you kind of lose sight of this, and I know because I was thinking about this in preparation for the show, but I've been at the Fox during a popular performance, and you have like 4 or 5 bars operating during one of those shows. It's not, I mean, is that right? Like 5?
So yeah, we have our 2 bars in the lobby. We have 1 large bar upstairs that houses 2 wells / terminals. And then we have our donor bar, which is a little more private. That's going to be...
That's the basement. That's the secret one.
Yeah, that's going to be downstairs, which is a little less crowded than, your others.
Okay.
But most of the stuff that we sell during our shows is going to be your basic thing, like rum and Coke, vodka cranberry, canned beers, things like that. But we do try to... we have our like seasonal menus. And so right now we have a seasonal menu that has 3 kind of springtime drinks, and then it shifts every season to different offerings, which we will soon be offering the La Luce, which was the
nice segue.
I know,
nice segue. Wow. She's done this before.
So we'll be carrying that soon, which I'm really excited about.
So tell us about this creation. La Luce. Tell us about it.
So it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. There were a few times that I told Darlene, like, maybe we should just say we're sick and not go, because it just wasn't coming together. We had 3 or 4 other ideas for cocktails, and none of them were working. And
yeah, it was definitely a journey. We really didn't even have we didn't even take that many days in preparation, before the competition, but we just worked on it for so many hours each day. And it first started out with a trickle of inspiration, and it was, La Estrella, right? We were like, oh yeah, we should feature something from La Estrella.
The bakery.
The bakery. Yeah. So, we talked about this Coquito idea, the little gingerbread picky cookie, and it started there, and we were so optimistic about it.
We're like, there's no way that this can't work.
We're just gonna be in the kitchen for 15 minutes, and it's just gonna be perfect. lo and behold, it wasn't. It was really not perfect at all. It tasted kind of bad. So then, like in the course of like the next 2 days or so, we were just texting each other and like coming up with all these other ideas. So it was basically this like, okay, let's try this idea. Oh no, I think this one is going to be the winner. Then we tried it, and it was like, no, we should drop out if we do this. This tastes like a margarita with like whatever, you know. So then we ended up going back to the original idea after a few little brainstorms of how to improve it, and then we just had this aha moment after like the 6th hour of working on it, like the day before the competition, and we were like, this tastes really good.
Well, you were in so the streetcar competition that actually came up from an interview on this show when we were talking about that space next to the Rialto Theater, which they call Rialto Gardens now. And the owners of the space, Billy Elliott primarily, they were talking about trying to activate it. And we came up with this concept, and the bartenders, and there were 11 that participated, weren't given a lot of direction. It wasn't like create the best margarita. It was create a cocktail that tells a story of Tucson that kind of embodies this urban core, something that, we wanted to focus on the 4 districts from University, 4th Avenue, downtown, Mercado. And so you weren't given a lot of direction. That's got to be kind of challenging because you're then like,
the type A in me was freaking out. I was just like, what kind of story can we tell with this? And she was like, well, we'll worry about that later. And I was just like, no, like we have to know what it wasn't coming together the way I had wanted.
What came together for you first? Well, was it the cocktail or the story?
Well, it happened, I guess.
Just kind of like, it just flowed.
Yeah.
So
right.
What had happened was I thought to myself, what do these 4 districts have in common?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, they all have like really good restaurants. And finally, if you know me, I always have an iced coffee in my hand. Like I'm never going to walk into a room.
Yeah, you so you walked into
I'm
the
never
studio
going to walk. You're never going to see
coffee.
me. Yeah. I get made fun of at work because I have like my iced coffee from yesterday that has like this much left in it. And then I'll toss that and put my new one there. And they all poke fun at me. But so that is what all 4 of these districts had in common for me, was that there are cafes on every in all 4 of those districts that I love. Mm-hmm. And so we thought, okay, well, let's create a cocktail with coffee. And then our next thing was that we didn't want it to be an espresso martini, right, or even a carajillo, which I love, but we were trying to do something that was a little bit different. And so we went with the iced coffee cocktail, which you don't see too often. It's been done before, but you don't see too often. And then from there, we kind of just added, the idea with the coquitos that we had from the beginning, and it kind of took off from there. Do you want to take the rest?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just looking back on it right now, and I think, it's so awesome that both me and Sofia, like our personalities and the connection that we had with the drink really shined through pretty equally, because when we first started thinking of ideas for the competition, I mean, I was not even expecting to be a part of it. I was just invited actually as someone to support.
I had asked her
she's from New York. Let's get her.
Well, I had asked her for advice, and it was actually regarding one of my first ideas that I had, and she helped me out with that. And then I said, well, like, what about, like, do you have any other ideas? And she was the one that came up with the coquito idea from La Estrella. And then we decided, I don't know how we came upon the piloncillo idea. I think that was my mom, actually.
Yeah.
My mom actually created the first batch of the syrup. And she made just like a little bit just for us to try with our drinks. And we were like, yeah, that's what our drink was missing. Mm-hmm. And so shout out to my mom for that.
Yeah, seriously.
And
I just want to like feature the amazing garnish that we had that was all Sofia. Sofia, like last minute, was like, maybe we should add a piloncillo brittle to the cocktail. And I was like, that's so genius. That's so freaking smart. And then I was like, she was like, oh, well, I don't want anyone with a nut allergy to, react to this. So maybe we should just do a plain one. And at the time I was like, oh, I think if you put pepitas in it, that doesn't count as a nut allergy, which then I found out wasn't true.
I didn't know it did like pumpkin seeds. I didn't.
Thought so too.
I thought that kind of. I don't know.
Right? That's not
They don't
necessarily
come from a tree.
That's a seed. Thank you. Okay. Well, then maybe I was right, and someone confused me. But then I came up with the pepitas idea. So yeah, I just think it's so awesome that both of our personalities really shine through. Because I know when Sofia had first asked me for some feedback, she was like, oh, you're managing me today. Like, you're managing me for this competition. But it turned out that, like, she also had some really wonderful ideas, too, that I wouldn't have come up with if it wasn't for her help.
So what was the final, walk us through the drink. What is the final drink? How's it all put together?
So the final drink is we actually used Hornitos Reposado, which I don't know why I chose that. I think you or Billy had sent us a list of what we could use. My original choice was Suncliff Gin for the original cocktail that I had wanted. That didn't work out. And so he had sent me a list and I said, Hornitos Reposado. So our biggest challenge was just trying to mask that. But so it has Hornitos Reposado. We used cold brew from Café Luce, which kind of tied in that coffee. That's one of my favorite cafes downtown. We used our house-made piloncillo syrup, which has fresh ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg,
other spices,
secret herbs and spices.
Yeah. And then Darlene created a spiced and salted Mexican vanilla tincture, which I think that really just brought the cocktail from here to here.
For us cocktail novices, a tincture.
A tincture is like a dropper, we have ours in a little bottle. I mean, it's very potent, so you really only need a couple drops of that per cocktail.
See those in the fancy cocktails.
Yeah, it's like we basically made our own bitter.
Yes. Okay.
Bitter tincture.
Well, it sounds like everything. I mean, you used the coffee from Café Luce, but you created all of these elements that then got blended into La Luz.
Yeah.
So I think that was and I have to tell you, there were 11 participants, and I was impressed with the level of detail each one put into this, because the thought process that you're going through, these other bartenders and their teams went through this as well. I talked to many of them. So this was not something that was taken lightly. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought a lot of people might just show up the day of and say, okay, well, here's a prickly pear margarita. But everyone put a lot of thought into it. So I think coming out of that on the top, I mean, that really has got to be even more special for you, because it was a tough competition.
There wasn't one cocktail. I didn't get to try all of them, but my mom was bringing me little samples to try. And there was not one that I was just like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
There was a beet one, and I don't remember who did that one, but I was surprised that I would have chosen first place for that one. That was a really good cocktail.
Well, I don't remember the final standings as it all played out, but I know you scored very well on the public side, possibly number one. So clearly with the judges, you were on the top. So that combination of judging and the popular content, which the criteria was the drink was the primary, the flavor of the drink was the primary driver of it, but also this idea of the story and being able to tie this urban core together, which I think you did very well through your presentation. And the judges remarked upon that. And a few of the people that I talked to that tasted your cocktail during the rainstorm, by the way, you were on the unprotected side, getting pelted with the rain.
I almost
for parts
forgot about
of it.
that.
And
I tried to block it out.
You guys were cranking it out.
We were taking turns holding the umbrella over each other.
Seriously.
At one point.
It's like, do we even need to shake this cocktail anymore? There's water.
It's diluted with the rain. It's as natural as it gets.
Well, I'm excited to see this on the menu. The competition went really well. I think we'll probably have something similar in the future. And just the creativity, thoughtfulness of it. And I think it comes at a great time for the Fox, because we don't have time today to go into it, but you're going through a major change in the next few years. So, this could be a nice sort of anchor point to help
Yeah,
them move that on
definitely,
as they build out their new brand.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate the two of you taking time to come in here today, tell us the story. You can try this cocktail at the Fox Theater. Maybe see a show, pick out something that you like, and
Some
then
good stuff coming up.
stop by any of the 5 bars that might be out there on any particular show. Ask for La Luce and taste an award-winning championship cocktail from a couple of fabulous local and New York bartenders that came together here in Tucson.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, thanks again for your time today listening to Life Along the Streetcar, watching us here on our website, lifealongthestreetcar.org. Each week we highlight people making things happen within our urban core, from A Mountain to the University of Arizona. Music is provided by Ryan Hood, and I always want to thank James Portis, our executive producer. My name is Tom Heath. I'm your host. I hope you tune in every Sunday for another episode of Life Along the Streetcar. And until next time, stay curious, Tucson.